Welcome back as we get very close to Halloween. This evening we are going to try and solve a mystery with the help of my grandson Nate. He was here earlier today. I asked him to pick a number and seal it in an envelope. He has it with him at home. The reason being is we are going to try and solve a murder mystery. And this murder mystery was committed in London somewhere in the early 1800s. It was not Jack the Ripper. In fact, it was a person that they later called the collector. The reason being is he collected items from his victims. Once again, this is still an unsolved mystery. However, at the time they had 10 suspects. And we have our suspects right here. And they were lined up. And they, in fact, is the first case they did actually try and get a medium to solve it. They had all the suspects lined up. And they asked the medium, who do you think was the killer? But they were unsuccessful. Now, the reason they call him the collector is because he collected items from each of his victims. We're going to have a look at those items or photographs of those items because they were actually found in a chest on hospital grounds about 70 or 80 years after the actual murder itself. They could not prove exactly that these items belonged to the victims because they tried to get hold of family members, and family members had vague memories of some of the items, but it could not be exclusive. But we did find another item here that was not really discovered or examined at the time. So anyway, let's first of all, we're going to go to Nate. We're going to ask him what number did he pick today, because he's going to be our investigator. Oh.
Yep.
Okay, here we got him on speaker. All right, Nate, you were here today. I asked you to pick a number, and you sealed it in an envelope. What was that number?
9.
Number 9. All right, cool, Nate. I'll get back to you. Thanks. Cheers. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, everybody's there. Bye-bye. Cheers. Okay. They picked number 9. Now, as I mentioned, they had suspects. In fact, they had 10 suspects during this particular case. And they were men and women. They got Margaret, Thomas, Elizabeth, Victoria, Ophelia, William, Sonia, and several other people that were suspects. Once again, they lined them up. And we asked Nate to pick a number. He picked number 9. Let's have a look at our cards here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Based on Nate's choice, he believes possibly Jason is our suspect. Now, as I mentioned, they found a chest in hospital grounds 70 or 80 years after these murders. They opened up the chest and they found several items inside the chest. Now, once again, they have returned those items now to their families, but they did take photographs of them. It was a watch, a key, a perfume flask, a ring, and finally, a pipe. Now, once once again, the owners of these items could not 100% verify that they actually belonged to the victims. One of them said, yeah, my granddad, yes, he did smoke a pipe, but I don't recognize that. And another one mentioned that his grandmother had a perfume bottle, but once again, he could not identify, in fact, that it did belong to that person. But they overlooked one other thing, though, that was in the chest. And it was torn off calendar, months of the calendar. As you can see, hopefully it's a little dingy now, it's been buried for a long time, but we have July, and I believe it's looks like the 15th is circled. Turns out this 15th was, in fact, the date of the first murderer of July. Second one was August, looks like August 3rd, I believe. That also was the date of the second murder. The third murder was September. And that was the 7th. Once again, the date of the third murder. The fourth and fifth murders were also October. Once again, the date of the murder was circled. And November. Once again, the 13th was circled. The date of the murder. Now I think we're able to actually tie this whole thing together. Possibly Nate is correct that the murderer was Jason. Turns out, first murder was July. Second murder, August. Third murder, September. Fourth murder, October. The final murder, November. And I believe that spells Jason. Thanks for watching. Happy Halloween.